Title: Wife stole my identity to pay for her affair. Now she's facing divorce papers and criminal charges. I always thought I had a solid grip on my life. Stable job, good credit, carefully planned savings, and a marriage that I assumed was based on trust. But everything began unraveling the day I got a call from my bank about suspicious charges. At first, I thought it was a simple case of identity theft. Someone must have hacked my account. But when I logged in and looked closer, the purchases didn't look random. They were too specific, too personal. Hotel stays, luxury dinners, and even spa packages in the city we lived in. My heart started pounding as I scrolled further. Every transaction felt like a knife digging deeper into my chest. I called the bank immediately and asked for details. They told me the payments had been authorized with my card, but it wasn't missing. I had it in my wallet. The shock grew when they said most of the payments had been approved through my online banking account. That meant someone close had access to my passwords, my information, my identity. I changed my login details immediately, but the thought wouldn't leave me. Who could have done this? Later that night, I sat in the living room with a pile of printouts. My wife, Emma, walked in, scrolling on her phone like nothing was wrong. I asked her casually if she had used my card for anything unusual. She glanced up, hesitated for a fraction of a second, then shook her head. That hesitation was all I needed. My stomach dropped, but I kept my face calm. Something told me not to accuse her yet, not until I had proof. Over the next week, I did my own digging. I cross-checked the hotel bookings and receipts. The name she had used for reservations? Mrs. Emma Lewis. My wife's full name. And the guest listed under Mr. wasn't me. It was Daniel, a co-worker of hers I had met once at a company event. That moment shattered me. She hadn't just stolen my identity. She had used it to finance an affair, parading around with him using my name, my money, my life. I don't think I'd ever felt rage and heartbreak mixed so violently before. It wasn't just the cheating. It was the betrayal of trust on a level I couldn't wrap my head around. She hadn't only broken our vows, she'd stolen my identity, dragged my name through the mud, and turned me into the unwilling financier of her double life. I decided to play it smart. One evening, after dinner, I pulled out the stack of receipts and laid them on the table between us. Emma froze, the blood draining from her face. "What's this?" she whispered. I leaned back, keeping my voice calm but sharp. "These are the bills for your little getaways with Daniel. Hotel suites, dinners, spas, all in my name. Paid with my accounts." Her lips trembled. I can explain." "Explain what?" "That you've been sneaking around with your coworker? That you've been committing fraud in my name." My voice cracked under the weight of fury. "Do you have any idea what you've done? This isn't just infidelity, Emma, it's a crime." She tried to cry her way out of it, babbling about how Daniel made her feel alive, and how she never thought I'd notice the charges. She actually said she thought I'd be too busy with work to check my accounts. That was the breaking point for me. Her crocodile tears, her pathetic excuses, it was all so insulting. I told her I was done. "You've destroyed this marriage, and now you've dragged me into criminal liability. But guess what? I'm not the one who's going down for this, you are." I contacted my attorney the next morning. We filed for divorce, but that wasn't all. I also went straight to the police with all the documentation. Fraudulent use of identity, forgery, unauthorized charges. They didn't hesitate. They opened a case against her immediately. The look on her face when the police showed up at our door was something I'll never forget. Panic, disbelief, and the sudden realization that her affair wasn't just going to cost her a marriage. It was going to cost her her freedom. Emma's world unraveled faster than even I expected. Within days of the police questioning, the walls she had built around her lies began to collapse. Daniel, the so-called lover, who was worth ruining her marriage over, was the first to vanish. The moment he caught wind of potential legal trouble, he cut her off completely, blocked her number, erased her from his life, and left her to face the storm alone. It turned out his promises of a glamorous future together were as fake as the receipts she had forged in my name. Meanwhile, the divorce process moved swiftly. My lawyer ensured every detail of her fraud was included in the proceedings. She wasn't just an unfaithful wife anymore. She was now a liability, Someone courts take very seriously when identity theft and financial abuse are involved. The judge didn't mince words either. You not only violated the sanctity of marriage, he said sternly, you violated the law. Your actions demonstrate malicious intent. Those words sealed her fate. The financial settlement was brutal for her. She lost any claim to our house, her access to joint savings was frozen, and her career took a nosedive once her employer caught wind of the charges. She had stolen from her own husband to fund hotel escapades, and now she couldn't even hold on to her job. The irony wasn't lost on me. I won't lie. Watching her face the consequences brought me a kind of closure I desperately needed. For months, I had been living under the weight of betrayal, questioning my own worth, wondering how I could have missed the signs. But seeing her escorted out of our home by officers, knowing she would answer for both the affair and the fraud, I finally felt like I could breathe again. Emma now faces criminal charges for identity theft, fraud, and forgery. Her once charmed social circle has abandoned her, unwilling to associate with someone branded a thief and a cheat. And me? I've started over, freer, wiser, and determined never to let anyone strip me of my dignity again. She thought she could steal my identity to build her fantasy life. Instead, she lost everything, her lover, her freedom, and her marriage. I only lost the illusion of who I thought she was.